Good morning. The first frequency was close to a B, around 120 hertz. That's the frequency that my room vibrates at because of all of the electronics inside it. The next frequency is a little bit higher, harder for me to maintain. Manipulative diva. How did you know it was my birthday? Did you read it on Discord? How did you know? Don't have that publicly posted anywhere. Hello from New Zealand. Toucan Sam. Oh, well, gosh. Would you like to moderate for me? Let me add you as a friend. I did not realize that this was your TikTok handle. Alright. Good morning, Katie. If I had one message for the whole world, what would it be? What would it be? Well, it wouldn't be my message. It would be a message that I inherited from people long ago. And that message sounds like this. Shema Yisrael Asher. Ooh, I'm not warmed up. Let's try that again. Shema Yisrael Asher Eloheinu Yahweh Echad. Shema Yisrael, Yahweh Eloheinu, Yahweh Echad. Listen, Israel, Yahweh Eloheinu, Asher Echad, are one, all are one, like a serpent that eats its tail. What helps me stay so positive? Every single one of you. Like, I don't know if you know what it's like to have hundreds of people tell you that they think that you're beautiful, but it improves one's mood a lot. No one used to tell me I was beautiful like that. Hi, Ophelia. I'm glad you're here. Yeah, one other comment. Thank you for the roses. What's going on here? Joy? That's a good question. That's a very good question. What's going on here? What do you think is going on here? Can you all tell me what is going on here? Every day someone asks that question. I don't like to answer it. Not that I don't think it's a good question. I think it's an excellent question. But what is going on here? What are we doing together? That's what I would like to know. That's what I'd like to hear from you all. Yes, it is like the Midgard serpent. Just a little bit. Let's sing a prayer that is also like the Midgard serpent in that it will contain itself goes like this. ואהבת את עונת אלוהיך ובכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ולכתך בדרך ובשכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. Good morning, Jolie. How are you? It's nice to see you again. I hope your holidays have gone well and that the services you led went well. So what does these words mean? What do these words mean that we've just said? Yes, it's in Hebrew. That's good. Hello from where I am too. I'm glad you're back. Am I a Buddhist? No, I'm not. Although I've studied Buddhism, I've gone on Buddhist retreats. Whatever that means. That means I'm privileged. That's all that means. The V'ahavta is a prayer about repetition, right? So the first line, Ve'ahavta et Yahweh Elohecha, v'chol levavcha, v'chol nafshecha, v'chol me'otecha. And you shall love Yahweh Eloheinu with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your might. And these words, which words? Well, these words, the words that are in my mezuzah over here, these words that I've been saying to you, that I say to you every single morning. These words, Shema Yisrael, Yahweh Eloheinu, Yahweh Echad. These words, teach them to your children. Teach them to those who watch you on TikTok. Say them when you rise up and when you go to bed. And say them when you are away, traveling, and when you are at home. And you shall bind them as a symbol on your hand. And let them serve as a sign on your forehead. And you shall attach them to the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Where have I learned this song? I learned this song in synagogue when I was too young to understand it. And I did not know what it meant. But even though I did not know what it meant, I still learned it because it was taught to me, and I repeated it whenever I was there. Like a serpent that eats its tail. Yes, it is an Ouroboros, right? The prayer says repeat me, and so the prayer gets repeated, even if the meaning is not fully comprehended by those who repeat it, because that's religion, right? But my hope is that if I continue to say these words every day of my life with you all, that perhaps one day maybe I will understand them in a deeper way, right? I will actually feel that I am one with all, right? That I am connected to all of the things. That I am all of the things. 100%, that is the embodiment of religion, yes. How was my Rosh Hashanah? My Rosh Hashanah was really nice. I climbed up a mountain with my friend. We saw a view over the entire Catskills. It was great. So we're reading from the book of Deuteronomy, right? And the context of the book of Deuteronomy, the narrative, is that Moses is wandering through the desert with his people, and they're lost. Not just lost in a physical sense, they're lost in a spiritual sense, right? They don't know who they are. And so they turn to Moses to give them an identity. And Moses speaks to Yahweh on their behalf and confers the messages to them, right? That is the role of a prophet. And the first two parts of what Moses says we've just gone over, right? Moses says, all is one, and repeat that all is one. All right, simple enough. Maybe a little bit cryptic, but simple enough. But there's a third part of the prayer, which we're going to do right now. And it goes like this. V'haya, ki v'achaya Elohecha el ha'aretz asher nishba levatecha levram le'ischach o Yaakov. לתת לך ערים גדולות וטובות אשר לא בנית, ובתים מלאים כל טובה אשר לא מילאת, וברות עצובים אשר לא עשת, והכרמים בזיתים אשר לא נתת, והלכת ושבת. הישמר לך ותשכח את יהוה אשר תישך מארץ מצרים מבית עבדים. Avadim means bondage, the house of bondage. Jolie, thank you for answering the same question over and over and over again. You must find that annoying. um, when Yahweh Eloheinu brings you into the land that he swore to your fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, to assign to you, great and flourishing cities that you did not build, houses full of all good things that you did not fill, hewn cisterns that you did not hew, vineyards and olive groves that you did not plant, and you eat your fill. Take heed that you do not forget Yahweh, who freed you from the land of Egypt, the house of bondage. And I see those Palestinian flags. You don't need to mute Palestinian flags. Those are fine. Right? Like, that is what this prayer is about, right? This prayer is about the land of Palestine. Before it was called Palestine. This prayer was written before Palestine was called Palestine. But yes, it's about that. It's recognizing that that land is occupied, right? In that land there are cisterns. Hi.
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 Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah. Some of them know it's my birthday, the ones on the Discord server.
Okay.
I mean, it is spam, but it's also topical spam. Like, I'm here, when I say that prayer, I'm thinking about Palestine, so if there's Palestinian flags, it's the, hi.
Hi, happy birthday.
Hi.
I brought you a birthday peach.
You brought me a birthday peach. Wow.
Did you know that it was from right there?
Yeah.
It's from 100 feet
Yeah.
from where you're sitting.
From a tree that I didn't plant. I'm saying that prayer right
Yeah.
now.
Oh, yeah? You didn't plant that tree?
I didn't plant that tree, and
You
yet I get
know
to...
who planted that tree,
I do
though.
know who planted that tree. I didn't exactly steal it from them.
No.
They gave it to me. But do I deserve it? I don't know.
Deserve is a stupid concept.
Deserve is a really stupid concept. Hi, are we gonna go for a walk later?
Yeah, we're going to go for a goat walk.
Okay.
And, some people are going to harvest the wild grapes, but I asked them to leave one cluster of ripe grapes for us. So we can
Okay.
find
I'm really glad that those grapes ripened. Like, I put the goats, like, deep in there, but
Yeah.
they didn't want to eat the grapes. But they ate the leaves, and I was like, if they eat the leaves, are those grapes gonna ripen? But there's a lot of
They're
foliage
sour,
that's just
but
high.
they're good.
Yeah.
Even
Cool.
though they're really dark
Mm-hmm.
purple.
Well, let's eat some.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Thank you. It's my birthday today, if you didn't notice. What's going on here? What is going on here? I'm eating a peach that my partner brought me for my birthday. Wow. Okay, so the problem is if I eat a peach on camera, then I can't keep talking. It's a really good peach. So when I say that prayer, like, I think about where I live. I think about all the beautiful things that surround me that I didn't plant. Right? Like, there's a spring box up the hill. We've had work done on the spring box recently. Yesterday, there was work being done on the spring box, and, like, I didn't do that work. Right? That box was dug hundreds of years ago. And, you know, I've been to Palestine. I've been to Israel, right? I've literally seen vineyards that were stolen and occupied and being consumed by someone else, right? And then I read these words in this old book, and I'm like, oh, gosh, like, this has been happening for 3,000 years, right? This pattern has been repeating itself for 3,000 years, just like this pattern, right? Just like the pattern of the prayer I said before, repeat me, repeat me, repeat me, right? Like, the religion compels itself to be repeated, right? And there are wonderful aspects of that, and there are terrible aspects of that. And I think the best that we can do is acknowledge it, right? Yes, the land of Israel exists because of colonization and theft and conquest and any other word you might want to use for it, right? And it's still important. And it's still where my identity comes from, right? Regardless if I think about the history. So I don't know. Let's eat some peaches. I'm glad you like what I make. It means a lot to hear. Sometimes I wonder if anyone's listening. It's hard to know. I mean, like, TikTok gives me numbers. Like, I know people are listening. But, like, Are they understanding? Are they actually taking in, interpreting it the way that I hope, right? Will there be genuine communication happening, or is it just memes? Is it just yelling into a void? Who knows? So, let's sing another prayer about a time when that land was occupied. What does that tattoo mean on my right hand? Well, it's on my left hand, but I understand why you'd make that mistake, because cameras flip things all the time. I will sing you a song about what it means. This is a song that remembers a trauma from thousands of years ago that occurred in the land that you see the flags for now. You could stop with the flags now. I'm not sure what you're trying to get out of. I mean, they're pretty colors. Anyway. I came upon a wedding that old families had contrived, with Bethlehem the bridegroom and Babylon the bride. Oh, great Babylon was trembling, and she stood there naked with me. And Bethlehem inflamed us both like the shy one at some orgy. And when we fell together, all our flesh was like a veil that we had to draw aside to see the serpent eat its tail. Oh. Some women wait for Jesus, and some we wait for Cain. So I'll hang upon my altar, and I'll hoist my axe again, and I'll take the one who finds me back to where it all began, back when Jesus was the honeymoon, and Cain was just a man, and we'll read from pleasant Bibles that are bound in blood and skin, that Asherah is gathering all her children back again. So who's Asherah? Some of you may know. Most of you don't, I'm sure. This is a version of Asherah. This is a sculpture that I made in replica of sculptures that people 3,000 years ago were making en masse, right? This was a meme. This is an ancient meme, this figure. Asherah was a goddess. She was Yahweh's spouse. Let me show you another picture of her. Gosh, I have too many papers. Far too many papers. Where is the right one? Here's the right one. Okay, so this is a replica of pottery fragments that were found in the Sinai Peninsula in an archaeological site called Kunlet Arjud. And the inscription here reads Yahweh and his Asherah. And so here we can see Yahweh, Asherah. Perhaps this is El, perhaps this is a knot. Who knows? Difficult to say. So there was a time thousands of years ago, before monotheism, where my ancestors worshipped many gods. And then there was a very profound cultural shift that changed that. And that shift occurred for many reasons. Some of them good, some of them bad, by my own judgment in 2021. Who am I to say what's good and bad? It's difficult to know. But monotheism emerged, and Asherah was forgotten, except by the archaeologists. And but I like to remember her as I do this prayer sequence every morning, because it reminds me that my tradition has roots that are deeper than it itself knows, right? And if I can connect to those, then maybe I can understand a little bit better what it is to be human in this world and what it meant to be human in the past. So there are modern prayers that Orthodox Jews say that I've modified, because I have that kind of pride and hubris to think that I can modify orthodoxy. I've modified them to incorporate the old god names, Yahweh, Asherah, because I think it's important to know them as characters and not just as abstract concepts which mean only not a thing, which mean disembodied unity, right? I want my conception of God to be a little bit more corporeal. And so I say these next couple of prayers to them. Go like this. Baruch atah Yahweh, Eloheinu melech haolam, shelu ashani isha. I repeat the name of Yahweh Eloheinu, who did not make me a woman. I did. It was hard work. Baruch ata Asherah, Anat malecha haolam, asher yitzar et ha'adam bechachama uvara ve'or. I repeat the name of Asherah Anat, who made me with many openings and cavities. What a prayer. What a prayer. Openings and cavities. I have a few of those. All of you do. They're important to acknowledge. That's a bathroom prayer. But we can say it in this context and it can mean something a little bit different. So, those are, that's the majority of the Hebrew that I'll be reciting this morning. We're going to shift onto Sanskrit, and some English prayers, and then we're going to have breakfast on my server. I've got a little Discord server. Perfect timing for that prayer for me. A bathroom prayer. So my understanding of the way that this prayer exists in Haredi contexts is that that is the prayer that is spoken when washing hands after using the bathroom. And I could be wrong about that, right? Like it might be said in other contexts, or I might not have my understanding completely correct. But yes, there are little prayers that we say in different times and different places. And that one is a bathroom prayer. But like I view it as a woman's prayer, right? Like it's a little more cryptic when you say Baruch atah Adonai, right? Like thank you Lord for giving me openings and cavities, right? But no, like it's a prayer about you know, bodies. It's a prayer about bodies. Just as the prayer to Yahweh is a prayer about patriarchy. Thank you for not making me a woman. Okay. Alright, I guess I'll have to do that myself. So we're going to say some prayers in Sanskrit now, and then we're going to have breakfast on my Discord server. There's a link to my server in my bio, and I would really love to have an opportunity to chat with you in a little bit more one-to-one way. You know, this stream, like, it's lovely. Oh, thank you for the hearts. I really appreciate that. Hearts on my birthday. This stream is lovely, and I love having you all here and reading all of the things you say. But it's hard to actually have a dialogue with you, actually build a relationship with you, and that, honestly, that's what I'm here to do, right? Like, build community. I hate that phrase. I say that phrase every fucking day. Build community. What does that mean? It means that I want to get to know you. And the way that I can get to know you is on Discord, because we can actually interact in a live way. Not that this isn't live. Okay, I'm walking myself in circles. It doesn't matter. Anyway, I'm going to say some Sanskrit prayers, and then we'll have breakfast on Discord, and it will be really nice. Why do I hate that phrase? Because, like, my entire life is built around it, and, like, it kind of rings hollow to me sometimes. Like, what do you mean by what do I mean by community? It's difficult to say, right? Like, there's all of these different communities that I'm a part of, right? Like, there's that space on Discord, which I really like, and then there's this space here, and there's various TikToks, and then there's, like, the commune that I live on, and, like, those relationships are very different. Then there's, I don't know, there's community it's very vague. And when I say I want to build community, there's also like a kind of hubris in it of thinking that like that like a group of people could exist because I want them to, right? Like I've tried and failed so many times to build community, right? It is a mistake to place yourself at the center of a community. It can't actually be a community if you place yourself at the center. Is a belief that I have learned through many mistakes, and yet here I am again, like on TikTok, like being an internet personality, literally trying to build a community with myself at the center, right? And I recognize that this is a fool's errand, that it's like basically not going to work. Something's happening, but it's not what I intend. I can't intend it. Like, it's going to be whatever it is. The energy has to come from those around me. I can't provide it. So the intent to build community is a little bit paradoxical. Of course I like paradoxes, right? I see this everywhere. Everywhere, I see it everywhere. Anyway, Sometimes I don't know if I'm making any sense at all. And now I have too many papers. I can't find the paper I want, but it's in my head, so it's okay. So we're going to say a prayer from the Shivananda Yoga tradition. This is a prayer that is said before pranayama practice, breathing meditation. Discord as a piece of software is free. Access to my Discord server is gated through my Patreon, so it's $5 a month now. Yeah, Discord as a community software doesn't cost anything. Is created by yourself to experience through the self through, right? I'm not sure I understand that. So we're going to say a prayer that is said before pranayama, which is breath meditation, and at some point soon, as soon as I get a little bit more time, I will start teaching regular pranayama classes on my server, because I do like offering folks that. But for now, we're just going to do the opening prayer, which I think is quite beautiful. How do you get over a breakup? Pay attention. That's how. Gajananam Buddhaganadi Sevitam Kapita Jambupala Sarabakshitam Ummasitam Sakavinasakarnam Mahamatim Divyamayuravahanam Rudasyasrinam Surasainanatam Guham Sadanam Saranam Prapadye Yaku Hendutu Sarahadavala Yasubravasvarita Yavina Varanda Mandita Kara Yasveta Padmasana Yabrahmatuta Sankara Pratrapi Devasata Pujita Samampati Saraswati Bhagavati Nihesadyapaha Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Sachidananda Murtaye Nisparanchaya Santaya Shri Shivanandaya Te Namaha Shri Vishnudevanandaya Te Namaha Om Sarva Mangla Manglaye Shive Savarta Sadike Saranye Trayambake Gauri Narayani Namostite Narayani Namostite Om So, I posted a video today about a community building project that I failed at a decade ago. When I lived in Somerville, when I was at Tufts, I tried to start this dumpster kitchen called the Gleaner's Kitchen, a dumpster restaurant, a community. Right? I wanted to live in a house with all my friends, and I wanted us to all be economically connected. I wanted to live in a commune, basically, but I didn't have the words for it. And so, I made this video about me dumpster diving. It was the first video I ever made. It went viral. I got picked up by all these Boston media companies, and I was on NPR, and then I got a cookbook deal. Here's this cookbook deal. I guess I have to tell this story today because I just published this video. And I ended up getting evicted because I didn't know what I was doing, and I didn't understand the way that property worked in the city of Somerville. It's very crowded in Somerville. And it was a profound failure. I went into a very deep depression. I didn't know who I was. But you made us visible. Made who visible? So, yeah, I guess, Jolie, when you asked me, why do I not like the phrase building communities? Because I've been using it for a decade, and the majority of times that I've used it, it's tinged with failure. But I think the video is a good one. I think it's a good story to tell. I'm glad that I was able to tell it. So, divers. Yes, there are many dumpster divers in the world. Yeah, so I've got a video out about this book. It's called A Curious Harvest. So you can check that out. And if you want a copy of this book, you let me know and I'll send you one. You can let me know through Patreon. Okay. Alright. So, let's do another Sanskrit mantra. This one is called the Maharityunjaya mantra. Yes, it's out now. It's been out for a decade. It's an old book. I'm recently starting to talk about it again, because all of a sudden people are giving me attention for dumpster diving again. So that's strange. I got a lot of attention for dumpster diving a decade ago when I was just graduating from college, living in a different city that I live now, and I've been dumpster diving since. Been dumpster diving for a decade, but the attention of the world comes and goes. It ebbs and flows, and so people are paying attention to my dumpster diving again, and so I can say, hey, did you know I wrote a book about it a long time ago, back when I was a boy? Yeah, so it goes. You want to go diving with me? I'd like to go diving with you. Being a spiritual leader is a practice in facing your own hubris and trying to replace it with humility. Yes, indeed, my friend. Yes, indeed. And I am not the most humble of people. But I do face my hubris often. I'm very aware of it. Acutely aware of the mistakes that I have made. So, now we're going to do the Mahamrityunjaya mantra. This is a mantra associated with the god Shiva, with 3 eyes. I learned this at the Shivananda Yoga Ashram in the mountains. And it goes like this. Trayambakam yajamahe sugandim pushtivardanam Urvarukami bhavandanan mityar mukshiyamamritato Trayambakam yajamahe sugandim pushtivardanam Urvarukami bhavandanan mityar mukshiyamamritato Trayambakam yajamahe sugandim pushtivardanam Urvarukami bhavandanan mityar mukshiyamamritato Sarvesham svastir bhavatu sarvesham shantir bhavatu sarvesham purnam bhavatu sarvesham mangalam bhavatu sarve bhavantu sukhina sarve santu niramaya sarve bhadrani pashantu makashid dukhabhag bhave asatoma sadgamaya tamasoma jyotirgamaya mityar mamritam gamaya om purnamadam purnamidam purnat purnamudachyate purnasya purnamadaya purnamevavashishate om shanti Shanti, Shanti. Om, peace, peace, peace. Om. That outer world is full. This inner world is also full. Taking fullness from fullness, fullness remains, like a serpent that eats its tail. Om, peace, peace, peace. It's the same prayer. Did you know that I only say one prayer? It doesn't matter what language that I speak it in, whether it's in English or in Hebrew or in Sanskrit. It's always the same prayer. It's always a reminder to myself, hey, remember that you are actually everything, that everything is actually you, and that any kind of distinction that you might think you have between yourself and the rest of the world is an illusion that will only give you pain. Right? All is one. All is one. So, there's a prayer that I like to say now. Oh, hey, look. Here's the English of it. I found a bunch of prayer documents that, had literally slipped under my bed when I was digging out underneath there. And it's like, oh, wow, I should, actually have a better system than just having these loose pieces of paper. This is the prayer that we're going to say. It's by Edward Sharpe and the Magnetic Zeros, and it's backwards so much. Does God have our backs? It depends what you mean by God. Yahweh does not have my back. Yahweh would be very disappointed in me. So, I don't know. I don't know if God has our backs. It really depends on what you mean by God. But I think we have always already been everything. We've always already been part of the world, and so in that case, yes, God is our backs. You're not having a great morning. I'm sorry to hear that, KJ. But I'm glad you're here too. Glad that you are here too. What are my pronouns? You know, I can answer that question. I haven't answered that question in many streams, which is good, I think. So, people on TikTok think that these are my pronouns. This is a document that I made, a little graph. So these are the pronouns that people on the internet think that I use. You can use any of them. I tend to use these ones. But, data. I like data. I'm not a rabbi. One day I will be. First I have to become a mycologist. I'm getting my PhD in mycology, and once I finish that, you can be like, alright, scientific method, you've shown me what you can show me, now I'm gonna learn how to talk about God better. What was the tiny bar? He, him, right? Like, those are people that want to hurt me. My husband is very lucky. He must own a large farm. That is a very interesting comment, and a fairly strong misunderstanding of the world that I live in. I don't have a husband, but I do have several girlfriends. And we own a farm together. Egalitarian-wise, we all share property together. I don't need my husband to buy me a farm. Do I live in the commune with the amazing mushroom girl? Well, they're not a girl, but yes, I do live on the commune with them. We live in a network of communities together. We lived together for about a month this summer, and now they're at a different commune, but we still live together in a cultural sense. Jules Amanita is their name. You should follow them. They make really great mycology content. So, we're going to say this prayer by Edward Sharpe and the Magnetic Zeros. This is an English prayer, so it's more comprehensible to many of you than the other things that I say. And this prayer, more than any of the others, like, really gets at why I do what I do. Yeah, so we're going to sing it together. And as we sing it, if you could let me know why you do what you do, what prayer means to you, what brings you here, what your feelings are when you're praying, I would love to hear that. So the prayer goes like this. Yes, I am a boy or a girl. I am. I don't want to pray to my maker, no. I just want to be feeling free. Not just who I am, but the pink in golden land, and that wide, wild sky over me. Help me to the sun, hey, I'm looking everywhere. See, I'm looking to become not the prayer, but the prayer. And I don't want to pray, no. I don't want to pray, no, no, no. I don't want to pray, we don't want to pray. Pray, and it's not much good to talk, better to walk it. Ooh, not much good to take, better to give. We are done, forgiven, and forgotten of our sins, and I promise you, my friends, all that dies will live again. So, pardon, God and Mom, what I'm saying isn't fair. See, I'm looking to become not the prayer, but the prayer, and I don't want to pray, no. I don't want to pray, no, no, no. I don't want to pray, we don't want to pray. Pray. Allah made love, and Yahweh made hate. Asher made good, and Anat made bad. Eloheinu made love, and Yahweh made hate. I love Allah. God made, but I don't want to pray to my maker. I just want to be feeling free. Not like in a book or the leaves of trees that shook from a word that means only not a thing. Hashem. Pardon, God and Mom. What I'm saying isn't fair. See, I'm looking to become not the prayer, but the prayer. And I don't want to pray, no. I don't want to pray, no, no, no. I don't want to pray, we don't want to pray. Pray. I love Allah, Allah made love. And Yahweh made hate. Asher made good, and Anat made bad. Eloheinu made love, and Yahweh made hate. I love Allah. God made me. Except that's a lie. You know that, right? None of those gods exist. In the same way that you can refuse to believe that I exist. Those gods exist, right? They're right here. Look, this is Ashra, right? She's an idea. She's in my head. She's in your head. Obviously, she exists. But, they didn't make me, right? I made me. Or you all are making me. We are making each other. I say this every day, but, like, it bears repeating, right? I could not be this person that I am today, right? I could not be this person were it not for you all, right? I might be someone similar, right? But were you not here, I could not be here, and this personality wouldn't be manifest in the world. So in a very real sense, we are making one another, right? And as much as I have ambivalence around the term making community, that is my intention, that is my hope, right? And so we make this community, we make this collective identity together by focusing on the same things with one another, right? That is how we make each other. That is how we share ideas, share thoughts. Isn't that crazy? Like, I can have thoughts in my head and I can turn them into little sounds in my lips and then send them and put them into your head. Like, it's marvelous, right? And that is how we make one another. So thank you all for being here with me today. Hey, Anne. So, I have a couple more prayers for you today, Arati and Kaddish, and once we say those, we will shift over to Discord, and we'll have breakfast together, and I really hope that some of you will join us over there. They're usually quite small gatherings, and we just talk, and eat food, and learn about one another. It's been really low-key, and I really like it, so I hope that you will join us for breakfast after Arati and Kaddish. So what is Arati? You don't know how to use Discord? Well, we can teach you. I've got a really lovely moderator who's been teaching Discord workshops. Their name is Klaus. Its name is Klaus. They want me to use it pronouns. I have difficulty with that. But, you know, different culture. Yeah. Can you eat it here? No. I used to eat on live stream, but I actually, like, and certainly as far as TikTok is concerned, it'd be better if I ate on the live stream, right? My numbers would be better. Oh, hey, look, my rice is ready. My stream numbers would go up if I ate on live stream, because people like to watch me eat. There's more interaction, right? Because I'm not saying words in Sanskrit and whatnot. But sometimes you can't follow the whims of the algorithm, because then you'll just turn into a robot. And I don't want to turn into a robot. I want to be a real person. And I want to know you, really. Like, I actually want to know you all. And I can't know you all, but I can know those of you who choose to engage with me in that setting, right? You're officially a Patreon member. Well, that's great, Katie. Thank you so much. Is there age restriction? No, there's no age restriction. Although, I guess you have to be old enough to make a Patreon account, which, like, is a little bit of an age restriction. Yeah, like, Discord is the best way that I have access to of, like, actually developing a real relationship with the folks in this community, not just a parasocial relationship. Like, I like parasocial relationships. I pursue them. Like, I want to be seen as an internet image, and I've made a bunch of videos about how I'm an internet image, but I don't actually just want to be an internet image. I want to know you. I actually want to know you. And that requires a little bit more investment and focused attention. So that's why I'm having breakfast on Discord, even though it's not the best thing for my numbers. It's the best thing for my soul. Ugh. God, that's a terrible phrase. Best thing for my sense of humanity? How about that? Yeah. I don't just want to be an internet figure. I want to be a real human. I'm rambling about nothing. Alright, well, thanks for the feedback. I'm going to say Arati, then. So Arati is a prayer about light. Really? Antique furniture in the dumpster? That's great. The word Arati means light in Sanskrit, right? So here we have our little temple flame. Arati means light or flame. And this prayer that we're going to do, the refrain, Jaya Jaya Arati, we wave the light, right? And then we're going to say various names of God. And I've already said many names of God in this stream this morning, and I'm going to say many more. Each of them has a story behind it, right? The one that we start with has a story about Ganesh. Here's Ganesh. We can put Ganesh up here. Ganesh was, let me make this a little bit better. Ganesh was beheaded by his father, as fathers are wont to do, and then the head was replaced with that of an elephant, which is very reminiscent of Abraham replacing Isaac with a ram. The stories, they're cross-traditional, and every god name that I say in these 2 pages of Arati has stories behind them. I know some stories, I don't know all. But even though the stories are all different and unique, they all point to the same underlying truth, which is Yahweh Echad. All is one. Like a serpent eating its tail, they contain one another. Fractals. What is my religion? That is an excellent question. That is an excellent question. I'm not sure. I guess I'm Jewish. I'm Jewish. I'd like to become a rabbi, so I must be Jewish. But there are some things about Judaism that I cannot accept, and that's going to get me into trouble soon. Already has. Anyway, let's say Arati. Jaya Jayarati Vina Vinayaka Vina Vinayaka Shri Ganesha Jaya Jayarati Subramanya Subramanya Kartikeya Jaya Jayarati Venugopala Venugopala Venuola Papa Vidura Navanita Chora Jaya Jayarati Venkanta Ramana Venkanta Ramana Sankata Harana Sita Rama Radhe Shama Jaya Jayarati Gauri Manohara Gauri Manohara Bhavani Sankara Samba Sadashiva Maheshwara Jaya Jayarati Raja Rajeshwari Raja Rajeshwari Tripura Sundari Mahalakshmi Mahasaraswati Mahakali Mahashakti Jaya Jayarati Anjaneya Anjaneya Hanumanta Jaya Jayarati Dattatreya Dattatreya Trimutriya Vatara Jaya Jayarati Adityaya Adityaya Bhaskaraya Jaya Jayarati Sanistaraya Sanistaraya Bhaskaraya Jaya Jayarati Sankarachaya Sankarachaya Advaita Guravi Jaya Jayarati Sadgurunata Sadgurunata Shivananda Jaya Jayarati Vishnu Devananda Vishnu Devananda Vishnu Devananda Jaya Jayarati Agastya Munaye Agastya Munaye Sri Rama Priyaye Jaya Jayarati Mohammed Gurave Guru Nanak Gurave Samastya Gurubho Namaha Jaya Jayarati Avanugopala. The language is Sanskrit, from the Shivananda Yoga tradition. Natatra Suyobati Natandrakaratam Nima Vidyobati Kutoyamagni Twameva Bantamanabanti Sarvam Dasya Basya Samidam Vivanti Om Gange Kayamune Kaiva Govari Saraswati Narmade Siddhikaveri Namastitam Namo Namaha. Neither the sun shines there, nor the moon, stars, nor lightning. So from where does its light come? When that shines, all shines after that. By its light, all else is lit. Matter and light are the same substance. We have learned. It's what the scientists tell us. And it's what the gurus have been saying for quite a long time. Twameva mata chapita twameva Twameva bandusha saka twameva Twameva vidya javinam twameva Twameva sarvam mama deva deva Kayena vacha manasindriyarva Buddhyatmanava prakrite sabhavad Karomi yad mangalam parasmahi Narayana iti sarmam payami Sarvadharmam pravichaya mamekam savarnam vraja Aham sva sarvapapayo mokshayami ma sucha. Whatever actions I perform with my body, speech, mind, senses, my nature, my intellect, or my emotions, all these, I dedicate to you, to all of you. Thank you all so much for being here with me today. I do not know how to put into words how much it means to me. So now we're going to say Kaddish. So Kaddish is a prayer of mourning, and so what's typical for this prayer is If there are people in your mind that you would like us to say Kaddish for, that you would like to bring into our collective understanding, please say their names in the comments or some other description that feels relevant to you, and we can say Kaddish for them. So the word Kaddish in Hebrew means holy, but it has a very deep root. There was a city on the Syrian coast named Kadesh that was destroyed 3,500 years ago. Here's an image of the goddess that lived in that city, right? Her name is Kadesh. I mean, it's difficult to know all of the history of this word, and I certainly haven't studied it. But I find this image so interesting, right? Like, there's that aroused god, and she's holding snakes, and she's riding the back of a lion, right? So this word means quite a lot. Right, there's a story of Isaiah, who's prophesying the destruction of his city, and there's angels flanking the throne of God. You learned about Kadesh on Discovery. Yeah. Angels flanking the throne of Yahweh, and they're chanting Kadosh, 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 holy, holy, holy. I'd like to finish mourning a toxic relationship. Well, that hits home. So, for the last 2,500 years or so, the word holy, Kadosh, has been associated with death in my tradition. And so we will now say Kaddish for all those people who died yesterday of coronavirus, and for all those others who have suffered and will continue to suffer. This image, Tree of Life, right? All of those lives that went into making this tree. Say Kaddish for all of them. And it goes like this. Yidgadal, Yidgadash, Shemei Rabbah. B'yom Adivrach Yute B'yom Lichmal Chute. B'chayachon of Yomechon of Chayed Kol Beit Yisrael. B'agalau B'zman Kar Yivimru. Amen. Yehi Shemei Rabbah Meva'arach Li'olam Omei Omaya. Yitbarach Vishtabach Vitba'ar Vitramam Vitnaseh. Vitadar Vitaleh Vitalal Shemei De Kudisha B'richu. Le'ela Min Kol Birchata V'shirata. Tush B'chata B'nechemata. T'yamiran B'yoma Vimru. Amen. Yehi Shlama Rabbah Min Shemaya V'chayim Aleinu V'yochol Yisrael Vimru. Amen. O Say Shalom B'mirmam. Hu Ya'aseh Shalom. Aleinu V'yochol Yisrael Vimru. Amen. O say Shalom B'mirmav. Hu Ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu V'yalechol Yisrael V'imru V'imru. Amen. Thank you. Thank you. So, now we are going to switch. Let me turn the camera around so you can see. I'm going to go live on Discord right now. Alright, I'm in the Live Voices channel. I'm going to turn my video on. Go to OBS.